This video is brought to you by John Robson Guitar Tuition. If you enjoy the content, please consider supporting the channel by enrolling on a course, purchasing some guitar lessons or a t-shirt, or you can join my Patreon. Now, on with the show. Hello chaps, welcome once again to John Robson Guitar Tuition. As always, I do hope you're well. Now, one of the things I have to thank Spotify for is it is helping me to rediscover artists and albums that I used to love but somehow forgot about. I did a video on this a while ago actually where I was talking about an Al Kooper Shuggy Otis album that I used to absolutely adore back in the 80s, and then as I made the transition from vinyl to CD and from CD to MP3, you know, things slipped through the net and I completely forgot about that album, and it just cropped up in the suggestions that Spotify throws at you every now and again. And the same thing has happened recently. Back in the mid-90s, excuse me, itchy nose, back in the mid-90s, I was absolutely over the moon with an album called Come On, Come On by country artist Mary Chapin Carpenter. If you're not familiar with the album, it contains masses of not particularly flashy, but, you know, beautifully played, beautifully executed, tuneful, melodic, tasteful lead guitar work. And that's one of the solos we're going to be looking at today. But the thing is, in the intervening years, you know, since I was listening to this album in the 90s, I've discovered YouTube. Well, I suppose the whole world has since the 90s, haven't they? And one player who's playing I absolutely adore is the wonderful Tim Pierce. And I'm listening to this Mary Chapin Carpenter album, and I'm thinking, that's got to be Tim Pierce playing on that. And so I looked it up on Wikipedia, and as you can see, if we scroll down to the personnel, nowhere does it say Tim Pierce. I was absolutely convinced it was. But as you can see, John Jorgensen of the Helicasters fame, he contributes a few solos to this album. But the one we're looking at today is by this chap, John Jennings, sadly no longer with us. It's the solo from the lead-off track to the album called The Hard Way, and it goes a bit like this. And here's a bit of an explanation about what's actually going on in the solo. Okay, let's take a quick look at what's going on in this solo then. This is the chord sequence right here. Let me put it up on screen. There we go. You can see it's basically a bar of D to a bar of D over F sharp to, half a bar of D over F sharp to half a bar of G. So you get that kind of thing. Just repeating that all the way through both solos. The original recording actually uses D flat to D flat over F to G flat. It's basically tuned down a semitone, but I've just done it in standard tuning. So if we're in like a D major tonality, then we're going to be basing a lot of what we're doing on D major pentatonic. This shape, for instance. And a bit of this shape, and some stuff up here that's based on this shape. Like that. We're also adding in a couple of other notes as well that essentially make it up to a D major scale, or you can think of it as D Ionian mode. So the first few licks in the solo are based around here, down at the 7th fret area, this D major pentatonic like this, and it goes like this. And then we move up into pattern 2. And a little kind of finishing touch there in pattern 3. So you put that together and you get... Then we bring in one of the non-pentatonic notes, this C sharp here. This is one of the notes that make it up to the the D major scale, and we get... So we're kind of bending up a semitone from the C sharp to the D. And then slide down that little run of notes there. Pull off from the A to the F sharp there, 10 to 7. And then we've got this little twiddly bit. And then just coming down a D major pentatonic. Then that's where we add in another non-pentatonic note, a G note. So we get like that, adding the G, and then over here to the D note, slide back to the C sharp, and then finish on the A note there. And that's the end of the first solo. So that closing section goes... beautiful, simple, melodic little solo. Then we come into the second solo, which starts up here. This is on the fade out of the song, and we start off with that little kind of thing. They're largely sort of based around pattern 3 of D major pentatonic, but as I say, adding in the C sharp notes and the... Well, are we adding in the C sharp note here? No, we're not. We're just adding in the G. I beg your pardon. So adding in the G note that would come from the D major scale. Then we do this little kind of slidey thing going up to this D note here at the 19th fret on the 3rd string. And at this point in the solo, it does start to sound a little bit more gainy, perhaps, not a lot, and it also sounds a bit more kind of tight in the bass end of things, which to me suggests a tube screamer or something of that ilk was involved, so I kicked one in at this point as well. So, and then we're back down to where we started the first solo with this kind of lick here, like that, and then we get how's it go? That's it. Another one of these little twiddly bits. Then we get a little bit of, it wouldn't be a country solo without a double stop, would it? That kind of 6th there, kind of the F sharp on the 3rd string at the 11th fret and the D note on the top E string at the 10th fret. And then another kind of double stop kind of thing. That kind of thing there. So we're basically bending the B note, the A note up to a B at the 14th fret whilst sustaining the D note there on the 15th fret B string. So that whole little passage. And then one of the key elements of the solo, one of the key moments, is where we've got this ascending 16th note thing where it goes. So, and that leads beautifully up into and all of that sort of stuff there is coming straight out of that D major pentatonic pattern there, pattern 4. All of this kind of top end bendy sort of stuff. And at that point, we're kind of circling the drain and just fading out as the song draws to a close. Lovely little melodic solo and lots of cool licks in it, so take it away and have some fun with it all. And there is, of course, a full tab in both Guitar Pro and PDF formats, along with the clip of me playing the solo, the clip of me explaining the solo, and the backing track for the solo. All of that is up on my Patreon page. There's the address, and the link is, of course, in the description. It's only $3 a month, and you get access to all of these additional resources that go along with these YouTube videos. Thank you so much to everybody who supports me in that way or any of the other ways, all of which are linked downstairs in the description. It is massively appreciated. I can't thank you enough. I'm truly grateful. And that is pretty much it for today, folks. I do hope you've enjoyed the video and found it useful and informative, and maybe you've just discovered another album to check out. And if that's the case, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you haven't already done so, and why not give me a like while you're at it. Don't forget the live stream Friday 5 PM UK time. We drink beer, we talk guitars, we talk music. What's not to like? It's a fantastic way to kick off the weekend. I would love to see you there if you can make it. But for now, I'll bid you all a good day and say thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your time. Look after yourselves, folks. Stay well, stay safe, and above all, stay sane. Bye for now.